for joining us this evening for our city council meeting. We'll go ahead and get going. Aubriana, could you please call the roll?
Bates.
Here.
Cheatham.
Here.
Warwick.
Here.
Mangum.
Here.
Nichols.
Here.
Paulson. Blatt.
Here. Agenda item number 2 is the invocation. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, after which we'll have an invocation offered by Father Constantine Zozos, representing Assumption Greek Orthodox Church. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Let us pray. O Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening with gratitude for the gift of this community. We thank you for the city of Pocatello, for its people, its leaders, and its promise. Grant wisdom and clarity to the members of this council as they deliberate on matters that affect the lives of many. May their decisions reflect justice, compassion, and common good. Help them to listen carefully, speak respectfully, and act courageously. We pray for unity in the midst of diversity, for peace in the midst of challenges, and for vision in the midst of uncertainty. May all who serve here be mindful of the responsibility entrusted to them and carry it with integrity and humility. Bless the residents of this city, every family, every neighborhood, every voice. Let us be a community that uplifts the vulnerable, values each person, and seeks what is right. We ask for your guidance and protection this evening and always. This we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father. We'll move to agenda item number 3 is the consent agenda. The following business items may be approved by one motion and a vote. If any one member of the council so desires, any matter listed can be moved to a separate agenda item. A, minutes. Council may wish to waive the oral reading of the minutes and approve the minutes from the following meetings. Budget Development Meeting of June 2, 2025, Special City Council Town Hall Meeting of June 25, 2025, Clarification and Regular Council Meetings of July 3, 2025, and Special City Council Meeting of August 27, 2025. B, material claims. Council may wish to approve the material claims for the period of August 16 through 31, 2025. C, Human Relations Advisory Committee reappointment. Council may wish to confirm the mayor's reappointment of Maddie Peace to continue serving as a member of the Human Relations Advisory Committee. Maddie's term will begin September 17, 2025 and expire September 17, 2029. D, safety footwear policy update. Council may wish to adopt a revised safety footwear program policy updating job titles for those eligible for footwear allowance.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I move that we approve the consent agenda items A through D as outlined in agenda item number 3.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Council President Lurick and a second by Councilmember Bates. Aubriana, could you please call the roll?
Warwick.
Yes.
Bates.
Yes.
Cheatham.
Yes.
Mangum.
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 4 is proclamations. We have 2 proclamations. First proclamation will be Kind Community Week. It will be read by Councilmember Nichols. The second proclamation will be Recovery Month, and that will be read by Councilmember Bates. Councilmember Nichols.
A proclamation. Whereas this year marks the 10th anniversary of the founding of Kind Community, and whereas bullying, negativity, intolerance, and hate can affect children and adults alike at any time, whether at school, online, or in the community, and whereas these issues pose a threat to the physical and emotional safety of the citizens in our cities, and whereas various committees, groups, and individuals have united to create positive, empowering experiences for our youth and adults by teaching and promoting kindness as a way of life, and whereas kindness, the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate, can greatly contribute towards making our schools, neighborhoods, communities, and the world a better place, and whereas we all have a choice every day to show kindness to others through our thoughts and actions, to teach the value of being kind-hearted, to be role models for kindness, and to stand up and affirm that kindness matters in Pocatello and Chubbuck. Now therefore, we, Brian C. Blad, Mayor of the City of Pocatello, and Kevin B. England, Mayor of Chubbuck, do hereby proclaim September 15th through the 19th, 2025, to be Kind Week in Pocatello and Chubbuck, and urge the citizens of our cities to embrace kindness in daily interactions as a conscious choice.
On behalf of Kind Community, I want to thank Mayor Blad and the entire City Council for your continued support. 10 years ago, Rainbow Maldonado and Courtney Fisher started Kind Community to help spread kindness throughout our community and particularly with youth. Today, kindness is needed more than ever to uplift our community. Please join us in celebrating 10 years during Kind Week. Kind Week kicks off on September 15th with our Celebration of Kindness event at Lookout Point, and I hope you'll all join us from 5 to 8 p.m. to celebrate all the great kind things in our community. Thursday, I hope you won't miss our Kind Community panel discussion that is going to be taking place at the District 25 administrative offices. It's a panel of experts, including our speaker that's going to be in the schools that week. The title is Rooted in Kindness, Creating a Culture of Care and Connection Through Awareness, a Kind Community Conversation. We also have things going on Friday and Saturday, so please check out our website for all the details. I won't go through it all today. Again, I want to thank Mayor Blad and the City Council for your continued support and partnership, and we hope to see everyone at our Kind Kickoff event on the 15th. Thank you.
City of Pocatello Proclamation. In 2025, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration celebrates National Recovery Month, marking over 3 decades of spreading the message that treatment is effective and people can and do recover every day. Whereas recovery from mental and substance use disorders, including co-occurring disorders, is an essential part of health and one's overall wellness. And whereas treatment and recovery services for mental and substance use disorders and co-occurring disorders is effective, and people can and do recover in our area and around the nation. And whereas we must encourage relatives and friends of people with mental and substance use disorders and co-occurring disorders to implement preventative measures, recognize the signs of a problem, and encourage those in need of help to seek appropriate treatment and recovery support services. And whereas to help more people with lived experience achieve and sustain recovery, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, and Recovery Fest invite all residents of Pocatello and the surrounding communities to participate in National Recovery Month activities on September 12th, 2025 at Lookout Point, 426 West Lewis Street, Pocatello, from 5 to 8 p.m. Now therefore, Brian C. Blad, Mayor of the City of Pocatello, does hereby proclaim the month of September 2025 to be National Recovery Month in Pocatello, and call upon the people of Pocatello to observe this month with appropriate programs, activities, and ceremonies supporting the theme, recovery is for everyone, every person, every family, every community.
All right, I am Joanne Martinez, and I work for Gateway Counseling, and I am the chair of Recovery Fest. So Mayor and City Council, thank you for letting me be here today and recognizing September as Recovery Month. Recovery Month is a great time for us to celebrate recovery and the impact that it has on individuals, and that recovery is possible. people and family who struggle with mental health and substance use really do have a lot of resilience, they have a lot of hope, and they have a lot of strength. And so it's important to recognize that. And so we're going to have a Recovery Fest that we have every year downtown at Lookout Point, and we invite everybody to come and celebrate that. We have a lot of community members from Pocatello that will be there sharing their resources. Lamb Weston will be there with some food. We'll have a band. It'll just be a nice evening to celebrate recovery, people who are in recovery, people who support recovery, and people who just want to learn more about recovery. So it'll be a good time, and I invite everybody to come. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Did you have a date on the Recovery Fest?
What?
Did we have a date on Recovery Fest?
Yes, September 12th.
I think it said September 12th.
12th.
on the-
I'm sorry about that. September 12th, 5 to 8 p.m. at Lookout Point.
Thank you.
So invite everybody to come. It'll be great.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 5 is a calendar review. Council may wish to take this opportunity to inform other council members of upcoming meetings and events that should be called to their attention. September 11, 9 a.m. will be a city council work session. September 18, 5:30 p.m. will be a city council clarification meeting. 6 p.m. will be a regular city council meeting. Other events, September 8, Grandparents' Day at Zoo, Idaho. Grandparents will receive 50% off admission when accompanied by a paid child. September 13, Ross Park Ross Park Rendezvous Fun Run at 8 a.m. Contact the Parks and Recreation Department for more information. Couldn't get that out for some reason. September 20, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Splash Dance for Dogs at Ross Park Aquatic Complex. Zoo Idaho will be open on weekends only, September 6th through October 26th. And as a reminder, there is still an open burn ban in Wildland Urban Interface area continues. We'll move to agenda item number 6, taxi cab license denial appeal, Tia. Kimberly Tia will be present to appeal a denial of her taxi cab license, which was denied by the Pocatello Police Department. Kimberly. Kimberly.
Yes.
Come on up, please.
All right, I just have a character letter.
Here, if you give them to me, I can hand them out.
Hello, my name is Kimberly T., and I'm applying for a taxi license. 20 years ago, I was a partier, and I had a battery in 2002. I was at a bar, got in trouble with a friend, and threw her phone at a wall, and it was not hers, it was another man's. So I got arrested that night, got told it was another man's job. I made an apology to him and paid restitution. In 2003, I started methamphetamine. I didn't know how addicted that it would make me. In 2005, my addiction was in full force. I honestly thought about shooting it up. But of course, that day, I got busted. And I'm so glad that I did. I got arrested, did 68 days in jail, and found out that I could have help. I went to JDSA, Joshua D. Smith and Associates, NA, and did my probation. I did all of that very well. NA saved my life. I did probation for 5 years, JDSA for 3, and I attended NA for nearly 10 years. Those are the best people, and it helped me out of it. I paid restitutions for what I did, made right by my kids, right by my family, and I made it through. It's been 20 years, and I have not used, sorry, I've spent 20 years and I have not used. And now I'm a proud grandma of 3 grandkids. I have a home, a car, and a better way of life. I think that this taxi cab license will be beneficial to me. I can give back to the community from what I had taken from it 20 years ago. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Councilmember Cheatham.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Were the offenses that you committed in Pocatello?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Don't go far. We may have more questions for you.
Okay.
Okay. Mallory.
Here.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Mallory Bascom, Pocatello Police Licensing. I denied Ms. T's application for a taxi license in accordance with City Code 5.56.050, which states that applicants must possess a criminal record free from conviction for any felony or for any crimes involving violence or possession of or sales of a controlled substance. Upon examining Ms. T's criminal history, I found that in March of '02, she was convicted of misdemeanor battery and misdemeanor malicious injury to property for an incident that occurred in February of 2002. According to the report, Ms. T was intoxicated at a bar when a physical disturbance took place and she punched another individual and broke a phone. She was given 6 months probation and restitution, which she successfully completed in August of 2002. Then in 2005, she was convicted of felony possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine, for an incident that occurred in March of '05. She was sentenced to 60 days in jail in order to pay $200 in restitution and complete 5 years of probation with the possibility of a withheld judgment upon successful completion. While initially scheduled to be released from probation in June of 2010, she was released early in March of 2009 for successful compliance. However, the possibility of a withheld judgment was rescinded due to inconsistent payment of fines and restitution. It should be noted that when asked on her application if she'd ever been convicted of, pled guilty to, or admitted to any violation of criminal law or had a withheld judgment for any crime committed or been incarcerated, Ms. T disclosed her charges. I can answer any questions you have at this point.
Councilmember Cheatham.
So all the offenses were misdemeanors,
No, the conviction for possession of a controlled substance was a felony
was a felony. And that was how long ago?
in 2005, and she was released from probation a year and 3 months early in March of 2009.
Council President.
And
Lurick.
so, thank you. There's been no charges or problems or
She's had no other
Anything since
disqualifying
20
convictions since 2005.
5? Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Okay, Council?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes. What do you need?
if you'll give Ms. T the last chance to speak
Would
if she'd like to.
would you like to say anything else? If you,
I think I said it all. I
Okay.
hope I said it all.
all right, thank you. Yes.
I apologize for my voice. But in a situation like this, the statute does say that there are circumstances that bar a person from getting this license. However, within 20 years of no infraction and you've paid the restitution, you've showed yourself as an exemplary citizen of the community, I think that it's admirable, the work that you've done to perfect and to better yourself and your life and your circumstance. And so with that, I would move that we would approve the application for taxi cab for Ms. Kimberly T.
Second.
You beat me.
She did beat you. So we have a motion by Councilmember Mangum and a second by Council President Lurick. I just want to be clear, it is to give her the license.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Aubriana, could you please call the roll?
Mangum,
Yes.
Lorick,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Super, thank you. If you would get with Mallory and she'll,
Mr. Mayor, can I say one more thing?
sure.
We just had a proclamation given for Recovery Week, and I think it's notable to recognize the fact that this is someone who has recovered. And so as much as possible, if we could support people who are in recovery, going through recovery, or who have recovered and celebrate alongside of them, I think that it would go a long way in our community. And so I commend you and I celebrate with you in this victory in your life.
Thank you. All right, we will move to agenda item number 7. Public hearing, annexation, and zoning map designation 1.86 acres at 8728 North Craft Road. This time has been set aside for the council to hear comments from the public regarding a request by Tia Lloyd to annex 1.86 acres, more or less, of property addressed at 8728 North Craft Road with a zoning designation of residential, commercial, professional, RCP. Following a public hearing held August 13, 2025, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the request with conditions. I declare the public hearing open. Tia, who's the applicant? There we go. Come on up here, and if you'd state your name and...
Well, hi, my name's Matthew Lloyd. I'm Tia's husband. A couple years ago, we brought the property off of Craft Road. The home is 126 years old, and it sits on about 2 acres along the Portneuf River. Spent the last year and a half renovating everything. By renovating, I spent 3 weeks, hands and knees, sanding the original wood floors that we found under all the layers of carpet. Everything has been redone on the property. It's a relatively small home. At this point, we have it a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. The size of the property, we think it would outprice anyone who is in the market to purchase a home if we were to resell it. So one of our objectives here are to annex the home so that we have the option to sell the home itself and then use the back 1.5 acres to build another residence for our family there. It's been a work in progress. We love what we've done so far with it, but I think with some of the things rumors we've heard about the city of Pocatello, Portneuf River, rejuvenation in that area in general, I think it could be advantageous for both parties to consider the annexation. So, lots of words, but what questions do you have for me?
I meant to say I agree. It's a beautiful part of the river, and it's a neat deal. So, any questions, Councilmember Cheatham?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Reading the application, it appears that both homes will be on the existing septic system. Is that accurate?
No, both homes would not be on the existing septic system. We have built out in the survey and the plans that each individual home would have its own septic. However, one of the stipulations were that if Pocatello did claim the land, that we would pipe in new city water to the property. Right now, it works on a well. I don't know how old the well is, still works, and it's good enough to irrigate the back lot as well. So it's on the well and its own septic. If the septic, and we can get some details from Merrill and Jose, but if the current septic ever failed, we'd replace it and put in a new one, probably closer to the home right now, because it sits back 60, 70 feet from the house. I think it's a little too far. I could better use that space if I were to move it anyway. But yeah, we would replace it. And each property would have their own septic. One of the issues would be that you'd have to send a sewage line all the way down and up and over the river just for our house. So we've got it written in there to where we would just have our own septic system, which I prefer. I mean, the benefit to the property really is the access to the river. Where else could a little family have 2-acre riverfront home on its own irrigation well with a family of deer and great horned owls that we've got out there? It's pretty wonderful.
Cool. Council President Lyric.
And I don't know if this is really a question for you or possibly for Merrill, but is there a reason why you would stay on septic rather than getting onto the city sewer?
Yeah, there is a reason. It is so far from your
It's
current
the
system
distance.
that it would cost us, I don't know, $30 a foot to run the pipe. You're talking tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars maybe to get it out to us. So that's
what
just
I
out
was
of the
afraid of.
question when I could just pay whatever it costs to put in a septic for our little family.
But then you would go on to city water?
Yeah,
If we were to
yeah.
annex? Okay,
I
thank
think
you.
we have something in there where it's
Yeah,
the current house could stay on the well, but if the well ever failed, then we would tap into the city. And so the plan would be, when we dig the lines for the new city water, we just, put in 2 lines, one to connect to this house, one to the other.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Merrill?
Mayor and Council, thank you. Merrill Coyle, the Public Works Engineer for the City of Pocatello. And yes, tonight before you, as has been stated, Tia Lloyd, the applicant, is requesting annexation of 1.86 acres and to be zoned residential, commercial, professional. And it currently is known as 8728 North Craft Road. So as through there, a lot of the questions we'll answer tonight, it kind of dovetails a little bit into the annexation, but most of it will come before you in a couple of council meetings, moving forward with a short plat application that we'll cover in a lot more detail, but I will try to give you a higher elevation look at the questions at hand so that you're familiar with them. There is the property line does go to the center of the river, so there is a requirement under the future land use maps, approximately 0.63 acres designated for open space. And in that open space, there is the request also a 20-foot wide easement from the high water mark for a future trail system. And that trail system right now, the city owns, there's only 2 parcels of land still on the southerly side of the river along there between the Craft Bridge and North Main Extension that would hinder not being able to put a trail system on that south side. So that's one of the requests to put that easement in, so when that time comes and the grants and so forth, that could be constructed there and access there. And that is, again, from the high water mark there. So the sewer, to get a little bit, is yes, the sewer under our city code does have an exception to be able to allow the septic tanks and so forth in this parcel. Right now, the closest sewer to practical sewer to extend would be 2,200 feet to extend that for a single family home. The other option would be to have the sewer main bridge over, and we've had those in a few places, over the river, and that is not optimal for the city or the applicant either. So at this time, under the definition in the city code of 1316.085 of basically talking the connections to be impractical, to be able to look at that, and that will be, like I said, at a further, when the subdividing of that. The water main is available in Craft Road, and it's been talked about that when the new home comes in, they would extend 2 service lines over, and one would be for the existing home when the well fails or they choose to hook up. The new home would be required to be hooked to city water, again, to meet the criteria within this code and that exception if the council wishes to grant that. But once the existing home is placed on city water, city ordinance, once you're connected, you're not allowed to disconnect and go back to a well. So in that there. So again, as I said, in August 13th, the Planning and Zoning Commission heard this and had recommended approval based on the conditions that you've looked through there and what we've talked about. Everything in this Staff finds the applicant meets the standards as set forth in Idaho Code standards for approval under Municipal Code Section 17.02.110 with the conditions as provided in the optional motions. And there has been no other additional written comments received at this time either. So that concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them at this time.
Councilmember Nichols.
Hi, Merrill. What's the zoning status of the surrounding properties? Because this is in the county now, right?
It is currently in the county. When the annexation of Craft Road, the other probably less than 1,000, or about 1,000 feet away, was annexed in last year. It was residential commercial starting on the northerly side, and then there was a section that was also for commercial general for some other stuff, but the majority of it was residential or RCP, the residential commercial professional. So, and this fits in the comprehensive plan and the just a minute, I got to remember the future land use.
So again, the properties on either side of it, what's their zoning?
Right now, that's it. They're both of them on either side or in the county.
In the county.
The connectivity to the city property currently and boundaries is through the river and across the river is where that is.
Do
And
you know what
that's,
the county zoning is on the either side of the
it's residential.
residential? Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Councilmember Mangum.
Future land use wise, are we planning on annexation on any of the surrounding area? Or is it just, we're just
At this time, the city doesn't have any plans for any of the annexation moving forward. That would come in as requested by the property owners. But at this time, we're not moving, the city is not moving on any other annexation in that area at this time.
Mayor,
Councilmember Bates.
Merrill, if we were to annex multiple parcels, and we required the sewer line to come through, how would that affect this septic system?
This system would be just like the other systems that we have. They would, if they haven't built yet, they would be required to hook up. If it is not in at that time, it would be if there's a failure in their septic system, or if it is proven that there is contaminants entering into the aquifer and causing some issues that can be pointed to their septic system.
Thanks.
Councilmember Nichols.
So why are we doing this? What's the advantage to the city of Pocatello? We're gonna add one septic system when we're trying to get away from septic systems, right?
Right.
So what's the advantage to the city to do this?
They can build the density. Right now, the county wouldn't allow the density to go in at this time. So to move forward with the house and the density there is the easement, and being able to get access for maintenance and a greenway for the river, because it'd be more than just the annex. It'd be for maintenance along the river that could be taken care of too. There is the potential for sewer to be coming through. We do have a project that we're working on, the realignment of Foothill Boulevard. And in that process, as soon as we get that bid out and moving forward with a design build team, then there's the opportunity to bring that sewer in about 1,100 to 1,200 feet, so we're about 1,000 feet away then. That moves that forward with that project and with the city participation. So the benefit is that it continues to fill in that area that for annexation, and we do have annexation as soon as you get to the Craft Bridge, the old Swagger meat plant, and so many other names for it is annexed. It's already in the city limits too. So, and then there's that gap in between to just start filling in that gap.
Sounds like it's there's good reason for the city on the city side, because and also on the homeowner or the landowner, because if they would like to build another house,
Yes.
they can't build if they're not annexed because of a county ordinance, and so.
Correct.
I understand. Thank you.
Council President Lyric?
I just want to follow up on the sewer part. So if, let's say we approve the annexation and we approve the exception, so they stay on septic because it's prohibitive to do sewer now, but infrastructure goes in the future that makes it possible, and that is our ultimate goal, is to get people onto city sewer rather than septic systems. How would that work then if we've granted that exception, but it becomes, feasible later on? This sort of gets us closer to where we want to be in terms of getting properties onto sewer. But once we granted the exception, would we then override that, or how does that work? Or maybe this isn't the right question for
I know
you.
I know our process and our procedures. Our procedure would be that if we do that, allow that, and give that exception, that when their septic fails and the sewer is available at that time, they are required to hook up. Or if, and in the letter and in the stipulations that is signed, goes to the health department, because it's actually the health department that grants the septic systems. The city of Pocatello does not have that jurisdiction. However, they do ask if we're within 300 feet. So if they're within that 300 feet and their septic fails, then they hook up. Or if it is proven, and this is somewhat subjective, is how you can prove that, is if their septic is affecting the aquifer or any other hazards that it's helping, or that is taking place. And then they are required to also hook up. But it's only at the failure point at that time, our current process and procedure.
But just to sort of understand that there would be, if it becomes available and possible, that there's a mechanism to sort of move us in that direction.
Yes, there, that part is, that's what's there, so.
Any other questions? Councilmember Cheatham?
Mr. Mayor, thank you. But to me, this is an annexation, not a plat.
That is correct.
And I think we need to enunciate exactly what conditions are in this annexation and ignore those things that will refer to a plat down the road.
Right, the annexation conditions, I can just go over, would be the annexation water at the time of platting. That is a requirement for our annexation under Resolution 2006-02, and also the condition for the zoning for the RCP, and condition for the easement along the back for maintenance and a greenway are what is on the table for tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Super, thank you. Has there been any correspondence in your office, Madam Clerk?
No correspondence.
Thank you. Then I would look for any testimony supporting the application, any testimony uncommitted to the application, any testimony opposed to the application.
Thank you, Nikki Taysom, Pocatello. I'm opposed for several things. One, the first thing that caught my eye was the zoning to be residential, commercial, professional. I see that as a laissez-faire zoning process because you're going to have people wanting to build homes next to people wanting to be commercial. And that's what's happening over there. And I am very much against city water, city sewer, and the cost that that's going to be on that homeowner, plus the increase of taxes and hookups and things like that. And I totally understand where they're sitting in terms of wanting to build something new and possibly make something for their future by having the other house sell or rent or whatever they want to do with that. But, and I also don't like the idea of part of it having to be gone for open space and the trail system, a lot of this trail system isn't even maintained. And a lot of people have had pieces of their land taken, and people are dumping garbage, or they come along spraying chemicals. I know I used to work on an organic farm south of town on Tank Farm Road. And they'd spray all along the trail, and then that defeats the guy's purpose trying to have a healthy yard or garden, farm, whatever. And I mean, I'm all about getting outside. We've got amazing hills all around here, but I've just seen over and over with the trail system, with the Portneuf Greenway, that you're given all this land, and then there's nothing done with it, or, like I said, people are leaving their garbage behind, or animal feces and things like that are spraying. So to me, it's just, I would much rather it stay in the county. And I know he won't be able to do what he wants to do with the property, but those are reasons why I oppose this. And the city water is toxic. And it's much better, you can do different things with your own well and your own sewer, just do it the right way. And it's so expensive, and your sewer system already handles you and Chubbuck, and you're trying to make town bigger, and I don't know why you want to do that, because then you just add more burden onto the whole system, on everybody else, instead of letting people be in their own space and manage it wisely. And so, anyway, those are my oppositions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others opposed to the application? Okay, would you like to say anything more?
Yeah, well, this is fun. I usually don't talk in public like this, so probably see me shaking over there. So our intention when we bought the house, it was our goal to get the home registered as a Monarch way station. I think that falls in line with some of the city's goals of planting pollinators and building up that ecosystem along the river itself. If there presents an opportunity for us to annex, and then with the easement for us to be able to sell off that portion of the land to the city, with just a mutual agreement that it would be developed, maintained, and we could entertain continuing to foster a healthy ecosystem for species like those. I think that'd be pretty amazing. So
Super.
that's it.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
I might just add that this city water is not toxic in any way. And so I want to clear that misconception up before we move on, council. But with that, I declare the public hearing closed. Council, this item's before you. How do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move that we approve the annexation of 1.86 acres at 8728 North Craft Road.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember Mangum and a second by Council President Lyric. Aubriana, can you please call the roll?
Mangum?
Yes.
Lorick?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Cheatham?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
can I just make a quick comment?
Sure.
I just wanted to thank you for all the work that you've done, and I really loved the last part that you said about the Monarch, is a way station where they fly through?
Matt, if you're going to respond to that, you're going to have to come up here, and I'm going to get mad at Council President Lyric
Yes.
for this. But
Sorry,
go
I
ahead
should-
and respond, and she's losing her.
Shouldn't have asked you a question.
I
Sorry.
believe any residential property, if you designate a percent or a portion of your land for pollinators specifically, you can get registered on a national database, which we thought would be really fun for us and our kids.
Thank you. Cool. And just to ask to be annexed into the city, whereas most of the time we hear from people that don't want that. So I am very pleased that you see the benefits for both you and the city, and I appreciate the work that you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you. It's been a labor of love.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. We'll move to agenda item number 8, public hearing planned unit development to Northgate Ridge. This time has been set aside for council to hear comments from the public regarding a request by Buck Sweeney of Smart Town LLC for a planned unit development PUD to develop 20.41 acres, more or less, into 283 zero-lot line townhomes and common areas. The subject land includes 5 separate parcels, generally east of Portneuf Urgent Care, entangling 20.41 acres, more or less. The request is to allow for a lot size averaging as outlined under Pocatello Municipal Code, Section 17.02.140, following a public hearing held on August 13, 2025. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the application with conditions. I declare the public hearing open. Council, has there been any ex parte contact in regards to this item? Okay, thank you. Then I would look for the applicant to.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Good to see you again. I'll just go ahead and try to not overcomplicate it. I think that...
Buck, I need you to state your name.
Excuse me. Do I need to sign in as well?
No.
Okay. For the record, Buck Swaney. And let me go ahead. Again, I want to keep it simple. I know that you've reviewed the item in the packet. I know that we've already been through for preliminary plat. You all know generally what we're talking about. In this case, I think it's worthwhile to take a minute and emphasize that as we enter this conversation into the records, we're committed to working with staff, engineering staff, and planning staff to make sure that we've addressed the needs that they appended to the memo in the preliminary hearing or in the Planning Commission hearing. We'll make sure that we've taken care of their key and core needs, and that will obviously, as it always does, entail a little bit of adjustment to the layout or the outline of things in the end. But we will remain true to the overall density. We'll have the number of units discussed or fewer. We'll remain true to the amount and quality and type of open space previously discussed, and to the lot size averaging that's been discussed as well.
Okay. Questions? Councilmember Nichols.
Hi there. So you want to build to 283 units, is that right?
That is correct.
So under a PUD, under just straight zoning, how many could you put on it?
It's hard for me to remember exactly the number. It was less than this, and part of the benefit of the PUD is that it allowed us to use that lot size averaging so that we could be more efficient about the layout. And so it would be less, it would be fewer units than this if we were not using a PUD.
Right, okay. Continue. And you're looking for a waiver on a setback, is that correct?
Yes.
From what's the nature of that? From what distance to what distance?
Yeah, I think the staff is going to be able to help just a little bit with that detail. But again, this comes down to, in the standard code, there are things laid out there that are a little bit not friendly to what you would call customary townhome development. So they're spaced and placed in such a way that they require a little bit tighter lot lines to work. And also it's part of the lot averaging equation. So it's a technical thing that I don't recall all the very fine detail of it, but I'm sure that Matt will be able to clarify that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Buck.
Okay, thank you.
Steph?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Matthew Lewis, Senior Planner with the city. As noted, the request before you is a request for approval of a planning and development. Property is located east of Portneuf Urgent Care, which is at 2850 Olympus Drive. The PUD again entails 20.41 acres more or less and is zoned residential, commercial, professional. The request is to allow lot size averaging, again, as outlined under Municipal Code Section 1702.140, allowing for construction of 283 zero-lot line townhomes and common areas and amenities. When taking into account the total lots of the subdivision, including all common area, the minimum lot size is 3,100
19 square feet for the north part of the PUD and 3,154 square feet for the southern portion. The minimum lot size currently or typically would be 2,750. So when you average all that out, they're actually a little bit larger. The request, as noted, includes a waiver to the requirement that all portions of the building be retained on an individual lot with zero lot line townhomes. Such has been approved with previous PUDs, and as such, the Planning and Development Commission recommends approval. In consideration of the application and proposed development, the Planning and Zoning Commission concludes that the Planning and Development is compliant with Municipal Code Section 1702140, and therefore recommends approval of the application with 9 conditions as outlined in the findings of fact. Proper notice was accomplished per Idaho and municipal codes. No written comments has been received by city staff, and this concludes my presentation.
Any questions for Merrill or for Matt?
Hey, Matt. I don't understand that first waiver that they're looking for. Could you explain that again?
Yeah, so basically there's 2 waivers. Number 1 is just your setbacks in general.
Right.
So our setbacks are measured for property lines. These are going to be 0 property lines. Since you have a building that's at 0 property line, you're going to have an overhang of that. And so when they do the plat on the final plat, there will be an easement for 2 feet on that. So those are the 2 exceptions. We've allowed those with BZ Commons, I believe. And then there's another one very similar to that. So it's something that has been approved before.
So density-wise, this is about what the underlying zoning would allow, is that right?
Yeah, pretty much, but you're getting a lot more common area.
Right.
Out of it. So that's one of the things. I haven't done a calculation specifically under the, just the zoning itself, but I think that it's a better development, that's being proposed.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions for Matt? Okay, thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Matt, you said you had no other comments.
I have none.
Madam Clerk, have we received any?
No comments.
Okay, thank you. Then we would look for any testimony supporting the application. Any testimony uncommitted to the application. Any testimony opposed to the application.
Nikki Taysom, Pocatello, thank you. I was here for a lot of the first go-around with the millennial development with Northgate, and I do not support this at all. I do not trust this developer, and after we got all sunk into debt, the things that were promised weren't materialized. We got a big, huge conglomerate of a very unattractive apartment complex with the road system and things like that with Chubbuck Road. The developments that happened after that, they were kind of the same thing where they allowed all these different apartments, just jammed up the traffic up there. And now with this other previous development up there as well. And also the PUD zoning, I strongly disagree with. It's just like the residential, professional, commercial. It's just a laissez-faire form of development. And I've seen the nightmare of that in Chubbuck, and I've seen it here. And I get it that we have a lot of other people have moved here, but what do you want your town to be? I mean, Chubbuck is literally a nightmare. The layout of this town from the early days is, and we could have a beautiful place, but it's got to be done in a very reasonable, right way, and that will benefit everybody. I mean, we have people that have some elderly retired people who want to live out their last nice time, now having a big threat of a big conglomeration of a complex next door, and that's not life. Yes, we do need some apartments, people starting out young or single people, and there is a place, but to have it everywhere, I mean, even that big gigantic thing out in Chubbuck on Knutson, that complex out there taking up that field. And I like I said, I do landscape work, I'm a gardener. I just look at all our farmland going out the tube for all this sprawl and gigantic complexes that are not attractive. Our families, these young families don't have a way to raise their children, to have even a chore to do. And to be able to have a garden, have fruit trees, be independent, that America was founded on, that we were so grateful to be able to be blessed by. Our pilgrims, our founders, everybody left that kind of thing in Europe. People left that in Asia, left that all around the world to come here and have freedom, to have their own land, their own home, their own well, their own garden, and pray to and worship our God who blessed us with it in the Constitution. And so those are some of the things that I absolutely oppose. And then when he stated will remain true, including size averaging, they didn't remain true the last time they came in here. And when we tried to do something after we figured out what was going on, they dissolved millennial development, so we couldn't hold them accountable. And to me, that's being a bad neighbor, and especially coming from a different state where they don't live here.
Thank you very much. Any others opposed to the application?
Mr. Hart is now dead too, trying to fight it.
Christy Lewis. My concern with 230 or 83 units, that's 600 cars. And where's that traffic going to go? Is that area set up for an extra 600 cars? Also, I'd like to know who's going to do maintenance. If the developer's going to be responsible for the maintenance, because we've been driving around up there looking after all these people are talking in the council meetings about their homes, and everything that's not a home is weeds and campaign signs. It looks like trash up there. So are they just going to build these and walk away? Or is there going to be ongoing maintenance? And again, what are you going to do with 600 more cars? Okay, that's my concern.
Okay, thank you. Any others opposed to the application? Okay, then, Buck, if you'd like to.
Yes, thank you. For the record, Buck Swaney. Appreciating and acknowledging the community concerns as always. Also noting that there are a number of factual inaccuracies. I'm not going to go through all of those one by one. I will, however, particularly respond to the comments of, is it Christie? Yes. 600 cars is the tiniest fraction of the capacity of the roads that we built and that we funded. We built and we funded these roads so that we would have the capacity for these 600 cars and many, 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 many more. And so when we look at the infrastructure, the cost of the infrastructure, the expense, the very, very long game that has to be played to do things like this for the community, we have paid for that, and we've paid for it in advance, and we have definitely the roadway to accommodate the cars that we would be bringing with this kind of development. Secondarily, and to some of the points of, is it Nikki? To some of the points of Nikki, in the old world, many, many years ago, the American dream was everybody in a house with a garden and a picket fence and a yard and a dog. And in the new world, we're really worried about making sure that we can deliver attainable housing that can actually be purchased by people. Right now, that's a missing product. This is a significant development to deliver a significant amount of housing that can be afforded that is affordable to regular people. So there are a number of important merits to this, but most importantly, these will be very beautiful townhomes, and their situation is nice, and they will not disturb with their traffic or with their noise, anything else in the community. They're set apart from everything else by the nature of our development. So I just wanted to add those comments to the record. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. With that, I declare the public hearing closed. Council, this item's before you. How do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Councilmember Bates.
I actually have a question for Buck. Can I ask him a question?
Well, I've closed the public hearing,
All
so
right.
we can't consider the answer, but ask him if you want to, but we can't consider that in your decision.
Buck, how long have you been involved in this project? From inception?
The first time that I came to Pocatello to start working on this as for site selection was in the year 2012.
Yeah, I just have a comment. I've had a lot of conversations, and is that okay, Mayor?
Do you have?
I don't have any more questions.
Okay,
for
thank you, Buck.
Thanks, Buck. I've just had so many conversations with people about Northgate, and I hear over and over and over, typical Pocatello, we got promised something and it's not happening. And I'm just so glad that it's finally happening. And so I hope that talking point stops, because it is happening. And it's something that I think we as a community should be excited about and celebrating. It took longer than I'm sure longer than Buck hoped, but it's happening. And with that, I'll butcher the motion, but help me, Jared. I want to approve it.
Then you can just approve it as outlined in the agenda with the conditions listed in the staff report.
Okay. I move to approve agenda item number 8 as outlined with conditions.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember Bates and a second by Councilmember Mangum. Aubriana, could you please call the roll?
Yes.
Mangum?
Yes.
Cheatham?
Yes.
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you. We'll move to agenda item number 9 is U.S. Department of Transportation Rural and Tribal Assistance Pilot Program Grant Application. Council may wish to approve submission of the U.S. DOT Rural and Tribal Assistance Pilot Program Grant Application for a Municipal Services Impact Analysis. The total project costs are $750,000, and there is no required match. If awarded, council may wish to accept the grant and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review. Yes, Councilmember Cheatham.
Mr. Mayor, before I make a motion, may I ask a question?
Sure.
When I read this proposal, it appears that this would only affect the airport property where the Crest project is being proposed. Would this municipal grant look at the overall municipal services needs of our community, or would it only be for out there?
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. Christine Howe, Grants Manager. This specific grant would only focus on the municipal services impact of that Crest development. So it
Okay.
would be specific to that location.
Okay. With that, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I'd move for approval of the Department of Transportation Rural and Tribal Assistance Pilot Program Grant Application and authorize your signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review as outlined in agenda item number 9.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Cheatham and a second by Council President Lyric. Aubriana, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham?
Yes.
Lorick?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Mangum?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 10, surplus and sale of seized assets, Police Department. Council may wish to approve the following request from the Pocatello Police Department, subject to legal department review. A, declare one vehicle as surplus which was seized during ongoing investigations. The vehicle has been adjudicated and awarded to the Police Department by the Bannock County Prosecutor's Office in accordance with asset forfeiture laws. And B, authorize the sale of the vehicle through auction and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move to approve agenda item 10 as outlined, items A and B.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember Mangum and a second by Councilmember Bates. Aubriana, could you please call the roll?
Mangum?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Cheatham?
Yes.
Lorick?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 11, Wellable Employee Wellness Program app. Council may wish to accept the recommendations of staff and approve an agreement with Wellable and to provide services pertaining to a wellness app for the Employee Wellness Program and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents subject to legal department review.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move to approve agenda item 11 as outlined, authorizing your signature on all applicable documents subject to legal department review.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember Mangum and a second by Councilmember Cheatham. Aubriana, could you please call the roll?
Mangum?
Yes.
Cheatham?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Lorick?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 12, Clearwater Advisor LLC contract. Council may wish to approve a professional services agreement with Clearwater Advisor LLC to support the city's investment and cash management program and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents subject to legal department, subject to investment and audit committee and legal department review. You threw a curveball to me.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I move that we approve agenda item number 12, the Clearwater Financial Services contract, and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents subject to investment and audit committee and legal department review.
Second.
Mayor,
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. A motion by Council President Lurick and a second by Council Member Cheatham. And we have some comments, and I know we have a question, and so we'll start with.
I think it's important that we pay attention to the investment and processes of the city. So I'd love to hear from staff what this all entails so that the community understands what it entails. Just so we know and it's clear,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Good evening, Chantel, Budget Manager, Finance.
Bonnie Schrader, Controller, Finance. You want to do a quick overview? Why do we want to hire an investment advisor? It's for staff efficiency. We're shifting from active execution and constant supervision of our investments. It will enhance our cash flow. Compliance and oversight. The advisors monitor statutes and peer practices and also provide transparency in reporting. The reporting's not coming straight from the finance department, it's coming from a third party, which helps with the transparency of that. Institutional knowledge. We're not relying on one internal person in the finance department to make the investments.
Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
So you had mentioned they'll look over policies and whatnot. So will they give us recommendation on policies that might fit or help us maneuver a little bit better with our investments?
Yes, they do take our policies and adapt it to a program, and their goal is to hit 80 to 90% of our budget. And they do look at our outputs and determine what time period we will require the most funding to meet our expenses. So they've really looked at our financials and our policies and have brought that all together. And I think that's in your packet with the information.
So basically, when we're looking at budgets for the year, we'll have kind of a more accurate prediction on what our interest income would be. They take care of endowments. We're going to have endowment for the cemetery. We have endowment for police. And they're really going to keep an eye on all of that and make sure it's invested properly for each of the funds in the city.
They also have an analytics part of their business. And so that will help as well to keep the reporting separate for each of those funds with the investment, because I know that's been one of the issues, is that it's all been reported under the general fund. So they understand that, and that's one of our strategies, is to use that reporting to better fit our needs.
Okay. Councilmember Cheatham.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I've talked to Clearwater a couple of times at AIC meetings over the last few years. Is there any track record that shows their effectiveness and how we're going to recover the $22,000 we're going to pay them each year?
Yeah, they actually work with many state and local governments. They actually have a huge presentation, and they like to come to council meetings like every year and present what the market's doing and stuff. So they do have a track record. I would have to go back and get the exact example. I have a huge packet from them So I do have specifics that I can get to you for this, but
If I may follow up?
Sure.
Mr. Mayor, would it be appropriate to table this to a date certain and get Clearwater in here to chat with us before we make this commitment?
I mean, the council can do anything that they would like to. My recommendation would be do not table it, because then you have to pull it off the table and do all of
We
that
can
mess.
do it to a
but-
date certain, and that brings it back on that date.
Sure, it would. I know finance department's been working on this since April and had a lot of discussions, and you might be able to explain or at least give council a little bit of more of a comfort on this with, if they know, I mean, they invest for Percy, they invest for a number of other cities and counties.
University of Idaho. And the contract is for 1 year only. And we negotiated a set fee, so it's not based on what is earned. It is a set fee that is done for this year. And then there is a 30-day clause that we can back out of this contract at any time. So that we have a lot of flexibility. Jared was great working with the contract with that.
I mean, this council can do whatever you'd like to, but I would recommend against that.
If
But-
I may,
Could I
we
make
were
a
just trying to get this
Mm-hmm.
through so we could initiate it at the beginning of the fiscal year and start working right away on the budget that we have for interest income for
And
next year.
Council President Lyric.
I just would like to make a comment about the Investment and Audit Committee. Councilmember Nichols and I are the representatives from the council to that committee, and that's where we've gotten this information and discussed it and looked at it. And this is actually our committee's recommendation to the council too. So if that makes you feel a little bit better, I hope that this is not just coming before all of us for the first time. Part of our role is to vet these proposals or ideas and then make recommendations to the council. So we were both on board with this.
And we won't be making any of those decisions. They will present that to us, and then we will take it to the Investment and Audit Committee, before we make the decision, looking at our balances and the percentage of liquidity that we need to run. And then they plus put in like a buffer too, besides the liquidity that we need for the 90 days, so.
Councilmember Bates.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm just wondering, in our conversations with Clearwater and the negotiating with them, was there any indication about what renewal costs could look like next year? I mean, I assume they put in an increase every year.
It's 25.
Well, they will increase it. They didn't say what, but they said that would be negotiable. But normally, it's a percentage from 0.1 to 0.4. So we're saving quite a bit of money with just the flat fee for the first year.
And the LGIP right now is at 4.41%. They're estimating it's going to go down to about 4%. So we do need to look at our investments and try to do the best we can with the investments, and they'll also assist with any long-term capital projects and invest appropriately for different long-term projects to get the most bang for our buck on interest expense.
One other question, Mr. Mayor. I just noticed, they provide a lot of reporting to us. Do we have plans to make that public facing? Will they assist us with making sure it's totally transparent?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
They'll provide cash flow, help with reconciliation, assist with the information going into our financials, the trading activity, the transaction detail, cash flow forecasts, which, we need to really concentrate on that next year. Balance sheet, classification, portfolio holdings, security detail, and other reports. Credit rating,
So I think they will give us a report as much as we want. Right now, we kind of set it to quarterly, so we can take a look. And again, we have that 30-day if we're not feeling comfortable with any of the investments. And they already did say they would not invest in anything that the council is not, doesn't approve of, any type
we
of
won't do a
company. So they'll
transaction
actually
without
bring the companies to that they invest in to council, and you can say, I don't want to work with that company, or I do. So you get full control over who the investments are with.
Well, what does that control look like? How do they bring that to the council?
Work sessions is what we were talked about, but it's up to council how you would like to do it. We can do it either way, and they're open for any kind of discussion.
So if we approve this today, could we plan on having them in a work session before we give them any money to invest?
Correct, yes, we can.
Okay.
We could plan a work session for October, and that's when we meet again for the committee.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have a motion by Council President Lurick and a second by Councilmember Cheatham. Is that right? Did you second it?
No.
Oh, I thought we had a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a second by Councilmember Bates. I think Cheatham was saying, wait, I want to ask a question instead of seconding it, so I wanted to double check that. So a motion by Council President Lurick, a second by Councilmember Bates. Aubriana, could you please call the roll?
Lorick,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Cheatham,
No.
Mangum,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll move to agenda item 13, Airport Lease Termination Resolution and Lease Agreement Airport. Council may wish to approve the following request for property at the airport and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents subject to legal department review. A, approve termination of the lease agreement between the city and Peterson Incorporated dated August 25, 2021, and amended April 28, 2017, and if approved, adopt a resolution and approve a lease agreement between the city and Steve Peterson for approximately 12 acres of property upon which Mr. Peterson will own and operate a light industrial manufacturing facility. The lease agreement will be for 30-year term at a rental rate of $30,000 per year to be increased annually according to the CPI and with full rate review in 2031 and every 5 years thereafter with a maximum increase of 5% plus CPI.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd move for approval of the airport lease termination resolution and lease agreement at our airport, including items A and B, and authorize your signature on all applicable documents subject to legal department review as outlined in agenda item 13.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember Cheatham and a second by Councilmember Mangum. Aubriana, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Lorick,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 14, Resolution Historic Downtown Pocatello Urban Renewal Area Eligibility Study. Council may wish to adopt a resolution accepting the Pocatello Development Authority Historic Downtown Pocatello Urban Renewal Area URA Eligibility Study and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents subject to legal department review.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I move that we approve the resolution or that we adopt a resolution accepting the Pocatello Development Authority Historic Downtown Pocatello Urban Renewal Area Eligibility Study and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents subject to legal department review.
Second, with a comment.
Thank you. We have a motion by Council President Lurick and a second by Councilmember Cheatham, and I will turn some time to Councilmember Cheatham.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
But that's the same question I asked during our clearing session. Why the east side of the traditional historic downtown was not included in this plan. It seems they have always gone together. They work together well, and access to the west side is only available if you go through the east side for the most part. So I guess I'm curious why we didn't include it.
Brett McLean, Planning and Director for the City of Pocatello. So the reason for that is we actually do have an eligibility study that we've completed for the east side, but we are not ready to bring that forward at this time. We don't have a project to kind of kick off an urban renewal district in that area at this point. And so we're looking at the west side of the downtown area because we're anticipating some potential project development in that area and are ready to move forward with the feasibility portion of it. So this is just a resolution adopting the eligibility to move forward with the next step, which is a feasibility study to see how things pencil out with an urban renewal area in that area.
If I may follow up.
Absolutely.
Does this have anything to do with the Brownfield grant?
Not directly, but indirectly, yes. So the Brownfield grant, they're currently doing, with the Brownfield grant, we're in process of doing a market analysis of the downtown area. And that market analysis will help inform the feasibility study for the urban renewal area. So they will be tied and related, but the Brownfield grant doesn't have any direct correlation with the urban renewal area.
One more. So those Brownfield grant funds won't be used to pay for this eligibility study?
No, the eligibility study was paid through PDA funds, the Pocatello Development Authority funds. And so the feasibility portion of that will then also be paid through the Pocatello Development Authority funds. But with that Brownfield study, it will help offset some of the costs that would be associated with that feasibility study as it moves forward. There'll be very pertinent information that is developed in that, and we'll be able to utilize that in a way that will help promote that feasibility study and offset the costs.
Just for the record, Mr. Mayor, I had a conversation with some folks in the historic downtown area, and they're very much in favor of seeing this study conducted to see what can be done to help revitalize that area.
Yep.
Super. Okay, thank you.
I would just add a quick comment to that. The Historic Downtown Board also very supportive, maybe some of the same people that Councilmember Cheatham is mentioning, but they're excited to move forward with this too and very supportive.
Super. Okay. Okay, we have a motion by Council President Lurick, a second by Councilmember Cheatham. Aubriana, could you please call the roll?
Lorick,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 15, resolution adopting updated drug and alcohol testing policy. Council may wish to adopt a resolution amending the city's drug and alcohol testing policy most recently adopted September 21, 2023, for employees whose position require a commercial driver's license, not transit authority related. This amendment updates Appendix A, identifying all job titles subject to random drug alcohol testing.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd move for approval of the resolution adopting the updated drug and alcohol testing policy as outlined in Agenda Item 15, if we can get an explanation of our risk manager as to why we're not doing this for all city employees.
She's super excited about coming up, and she was like, yes, I get to go tell them. That was awesome.
Can we get a second?
Oh, I need a second, though.
Second.
Oh, we've got a second.
Andrea Henderson, Risk Manager. We currently do not have a policy for all employees. We are just doing what's required by the federal government for our CDL drivers. We have actually talked about that and looked at that. It's definitely something we could look at again. I just don't know that the cost would be beneficial. I'm not sure the results of that would outweigh the costs.
So if I could follow
Absolutely.
up. Even though, does every employee who drives a city vehicle required to have a CDL?
They are not.
They are not.
They are not. Only.
Shouldn't we be testing the rest of those employees driving city vehicles?
They are subject to reasonable suspicion. Any employee could be tested reasonable suspicion. So if there is an indication, which you probably would catch more than random, if there is an indication someone is under the influence of drug or alcohol, they can be tested.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Yes.
Outside of the CDL parameter, are there ever, how often are there situations where there might be an incidence of somebody under the influence driving a city vehicle?
There are also some policies, and I should have mentioned, if certain accidents occur, a driver may be tested for a post-accident as well. So if they're in an accident and there's some suspicion that they are under the influence, they will be sent for testing also. Does that help?
Kind of.
Sort of.
So more often than not, if there's an incident, they're probably not under influence, or are they more likely to be under the influence?
In an accident, more often than, or not. They're not under the influence. Yes.
Any other questions?
I will point out all of our accidents are reported to the police department, who then come and investigate. So if there was ever a question, I'm assuming our police department would very much notify us.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember Cheatham and a second by Councilmember Mangum. Aubriana, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham?
Yes.
Mangum?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Lorick?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 16, resolution adopting updated Public Transit Department drug alcohol testing policy. Council may wish to adopt a resolution amending the city's transit department drug alcohol testing policy most recently adopted September 21, 2023, for employees whose positions require a commercial driver's license, transit authority related. This amendment updates Appendix A, identifying all job titles subject to random drug alcohol testing.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move to approve agenda item 16 as outlined.
Second.
Okay, she was excited about coming up and talking. Do you want her to bring her back up again? We have a motion by Councilmember Mangum and a second by Councilmember Cheatham. Aubriana, could you please call the roll?
Mangum?
Yes.
Cheatham?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Lorick?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 17, an ordinance. An ordinance annexing and zoning approximately 12.4 acres of land, pertinent parcel RPR 3853028016 to extend the Pocatello city limits north of Trail Creek Road. The subject property will be zoned residential low density RL with concurrent comprehensive plan land use map designation residential R.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I would move that the ordinance agenda item 17 be read only by title and placed on final passage for publication, and that only the ordinance summary sheet be submitted for publication.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Cheatham and a second by Mangum. Aubriana, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham?
Yes.
Mangum?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Lorick?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Jared, could you please read the ordinance?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the City of Pocatello, a municipal corporation of Idaho, annexing and zoning approximately 12.4 acres of land of the parent parcel RPR 38530280016, said property more particularly described in Exhibit A of this ordinance, providing said land be zoned as residential low density RL with concurrent comprehensive plan land use map designation of residential R, providing for the city clerk to file a certified copy of this ordinance with the Idaho State Tax Commission and with the Bannock County Auditor, Treasurer, and Assessor in accordance with Idaho Code Sections 50-223 and 63-215, and providing for this ordinance to be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law.
I declare that to be the final reading of the ordinance. Shall the ordinance pass?
Bates?
Yes.
Cheatham?
Yes.
Lorick?
Yes.
Mangum?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 18, items from the audience. This time has been set aside to hear items from the audience not listed on the agenda. Items which appear somewhere else on the agenda will not be discussed at this time. The council is not allowed to take any official action at this meeting on matters brought forward under this agenda item. Items will either be referred to the appropriate staff or scheduled on a subsequent agenda. You must sign in at the start of the meeting in order to be recognized. As a reminder, there's 3 minutes per person and a total of 15 minutes for this agenda item.
I think it's Sheena.
Sheena Goldsberry? Goldsby, okay.
Mr. Mayor, while she's coming up, I just want to clarify that on agenda item number 13, that was approval for items 13A, B, and C. I just heard A and B, and I just wanted to confirm that it was for A, B, and C from the council.
Yes.
Where's C?
There is no C. It's for A and B. There is no C.
Thank you.
Yep. Yep. All right, thank you.
Do I need to sign in?
No.
Okay. So my name is Sheena Goldsberry. I just have a few questions, and I want to speak my mind. I want to know, how does the community know their kids are safe and it ain't happening again in this town? And does the cops know how to de-escalate the situation now on what happened with Victor? Because what happened with Victor, that's teaching our kids in the community things that shouldn't be okay. And that isn't okay. You want us to teach our kids the right way. And what happened to Victor wasn't the right way. My point is, hold them accountable for their actions like you would, like the ones that didn't walk free and that are in prison right now. And I don't think it's fair that they got off freely when everybody in the community has disabled children, and that has to worry every single day if it's gonna happen to them. My son, he's 16, same as Victor. The mayor knows. I talked to him like a while back. It ain't fair. It's really not. That was Victor's friend, right there. He ate lunch with him every single day. You don't get that no more. I don't think that's fair at all, that Victor's not here to do that. And the cops should not walk free. It's not fair at all. I have disabled children, everything over there. Do you think it's fair to them? That every time they see a cop, they have to worry? My youngest son, there was a cop that came in my yard asking questions a couple weeks ago. Not happy with him at all. My son was scared. He had his hand on his gun. My son said, "Mom, I'm scared." That cop looked in his face and laughed at him. But you tell me how that's fair. I told that cop, "Don't come any further into my yard." And he stopped. He should not laugh at a freaking kid that is disabled. That is not okay. When he wasn't doing nothing wrong, but just standing there. And he had it on his hip. Now, if he would have shot, that would have been a whole nother ball game, because he wouldn't have got to him when he wasn't doing nothing wrong. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Dave Archuleta. Oh, there he went.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. Dave Archuleta, 945 North 9th, Pocatello, Idaho. Again, this is a tragedy for our whole community. And General Labrador's decision yesterday just ripped off the Band-Aid, and we're bleeding again as a community. The outrage is there still again. I had an opportunity to visit with the chief of police before this meeting. I talked to him about what I wrote in the newspaper, which is I'm asking the city council team up with the critical incident task force. Why don't we all get together, all the departments up and down our valley here, retrain our people on de-escalation, retrain our people on how to respond to folks with
autism and things like that. We're reasonable people. We're all leaders of our communities. We should be able to come together, sit down and figure out how to address this issue and do it in a good way. We've had enough bad things being said. Now why don't we turn it around and start doing something good? I'm asking the city council for you, mayors and city council people, to get with your counterparts in Idaho Falls, Blackfoot, Fort Hall, and let's set up a task force and let's get some trainings together and let's make it happen so Victor does not happen in the future. That's all I'm asking. I think that's all these folks are asking. Let's come up with a solution. Appoint a citizens commission to work with the chief of police and his folks. And I recognize what the chief told me today. He's been getting threats. Mayor, you've been getting threats. Members of the city council, that's got to stop. We're better than that, Pocatello. We're better than that in southeastern Idaho. So I'm asking you to be proactive and let's make this happen. I'm willing to serve on that. I'm quite sure other people here with autistic children would be happy to serve on that if you establish it. Thank you.
Thank you. Stephanie Adams.
Stephen.
Stephen Adams. Sorry, Stephen.
That's all right, Mayor. Just don't call me late for dinner.
I would not do that.
My name is Stephen Adams. I live here in Pocatello. It's a city where I'll probably die eventually. And I want this city to be the best city that it can be for all citizens of this community. That includes especially those who are disabled and need us to watch out for them. Just because someone makes a decision in Boise doesn't take away the tragedy that has occurred. It doesn't take away the pain of the community that is trying to figure out what to do next. I ask this city to put aside the civil litigation that may be forthcoming. Put away those just for a moment. And I ask the city council and you, Mayor, to consider to come up with a recommendation for a coalition made up of members of the community, inclusive of parents of those with disabilities, professionals who serve this population of people in our community, and it can be limited if you've tried to get a social worker or psychologist in this area. It's really tough. But also, this coalition could be made up of those who have the ability to attend these meetings and make recommendations on how they feel these things could change. I ask that members of the police department who are here to protect and to serve to be able to serve on that coalition too, and all gathered together to look towards the future of making this city safer, and for our children who are afraid of police officers now because of this event, it will make it more palatable for them, where we can regain all the years that we have worked so hard in order to try to restore faith in police officers, because they have a job to do too. And I just ask for this coalition to be considered. We don't have to bring up the other case that may involve the litigation, but I do ask for y'all to consider that, to bring the community together.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, members of the
Nikki
City
Taysom.
Council.
Thank you, Taysom Pocatello, thank you. I'm also here in defense of children and what we're supposed to be as a town and a nation, what our families are supposed to be. As I've stated in multiple meetings, there's not one child safe in this town. Not one special needs person, not one elder veteran in this town, especially also anybody who really stands true to what our country represents and is supposed to stand for. I and my family are under nonstop, literal nonstop retaliation. My family are in harm right now. My little grandchild, I'm trying to find out, was used in sacrifice. I have grandchildren being trafficked, including out of your facilities. I have family who are falsely accused and evaluated and diagnosed, falsely charged, falsely accused, because we're true, by those who are committing the crime. I love everybody. I was baptized. I took upon myself the name of my Savior. I said a Pledge of Allegiance. I said a Scout Oath. For 20 years with my boys, who did their duty to God and their country, including my sons, who laid down their life for you. Nerd and Purple Hearts came back starved and shot, very traumatized, given their all. Down to my little 2.5-year-old has given her all. We've got to make a decision, and I'm calling on you. We'll stand before our Father, Mother in heaven and Savior, ultimately. And we were warned by him himself, do not offend or turn away a little child, or you will regret the day you were born. You're celebrating the Recovery Month, yet you have approved almost alcohol at every public event, including in violation of city ordinance. You have alcohol, tobacco, vape, porn, lotteries, casinos, satanic violent gaming. It's like Sodom, Gomorrah, and Babylon here. I watched the Pocatello High School students have to walk through that, back and forth to school, then sit in school and listen, be exposed to it. I watched about 30 students leave after school. Not one was happy. I mean, in my day at school, we just had a great time talking with friends and everything, went to do fun things. These children are being robbed of their innocence and childhood. Being inclusive, non-discriminating, with every evil under the sun. And we're paying a huge price for it. It's not about love at all. It's not about kindness at all. We're in a mess. And this is what brings down the full wrath of everybody in heaven. If it does not stop, I warn you in the name of Emmanuel. When you make any decision, you put the little children first, and you say, well, this offender turned away a little child.
Thank you very much.
And stop the retaliation against my family.
Thank
by your
you.
officers and
We have
prosecutors.
no others that have signed up, so thank you, council, for your work tonight, and thank you for being with us tonight. We appreciate you attending our city council meeting. With that, we are adjourned.